You've been running your own business for some time now, but things are starting to feel stuck. No matter what you do, your revenue doesn't budge and you just can't find the time to implement the new strategies, the following through with that launching piece that you want, that new product. You are feeling frustrated because you feel burnt out, but you still want to see your business grow. So if this sounds like you, it is definitely time to scale. Now, this sounds great, but how on earth do you go about this, right? Like scaling, it's such a buzzword. Today, I'm going to be talking about the 3 steps that you need to take in your business to start freeing up your time and to finally unload some of those everyday tasks so that you can create that, yes, work-life balance. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it does exist. I know it probably feels crazy right now, but I want to help you get there. But before we get started, I want to say hello. My name is Sarah Noked, and my team and I both help people scale online by becoming online business managers through our OBM school programs. And we also help busy bee entrepreneurs button up their online businesses so that they can claim their freedom back. And we do this through our OBM agency. So basically, we do everything OBM, whether you want to become one or you need to hire one. If you want to learn more about online business managers and how they can help scale your business, check out our previous video, Is Your Business Ready for an Online Business Manager? I'm going to pop that link in the description below. So for now though, let's dive into those 3 steps that you need to take to scale your business. So first things first, you need to implement systems, otherwise known as standard operating procedures. So SOPs really make up the backbone of a well-organized and productive business and team. They will help you and your team know exactly what they need to know each day, week, quarter, year, so that things can get done with as little chaos and micromanaging as possible. So SOPs are also what will help you as the head honcho in your business take a step back from really being so involved in the day-to-day of your business. And this is going to open up more time for you to really focus on other things, right? So the first thing that you need to do is really identify exactly what in your business needs an SOP. So figure out what are the things that are recurring in your business, and any recurring task or system that operates on a recurring business needs a standard operating procedure. Whether they are dealing with certain products that you launch on a recurring basis, or content you create, or affiliates that you deal with, there's just so many different things, and it's very different in everybody's business. Now, building your first few SOPs can be a little confusing, but luckily we have a couple of resources that are going to help you figure out what you need to do so that you can get started right away. And we actually have a video that walks you through the SOP for creating SOPs. Yes, you heard me right. We actually empower our team members, and this is one of the first things that we teach inside OBM school, as well as implementing with our clients inside our OBM agency, is this SOP for creating SOPs. And I have a whole other video, and I'm going to leave it in the description below, where I literally walk through the blueprint that you should be using to build systems that scale. And also it's included in our free SOP kit, which I'm also going to leave in the description, because this is really about giving you back your time and energy so that you can spend more time with your family, do the things that you want to do so you have that work-life balance. And it's never too early to start building and implementing systems, which leads me to the next really second key element that you need to scale. And that, my friends, is team. Now, I also was once a very happy solopreneur, but if you are serious about making this business a thing that can exist without you, you need to get away from that solopreneur mindset. And trust me, there was a real time in my business where I thought I was rocking it. I'm very much a lone wolfish kind of person, and I was really fine doing everything on my own until my business became too much for me to manage on my own. And I realized that I had created this job for myself where now I couldn't take any vacation. I couldn't really rely on other people. And it was just about my skill set, right? And my biggest regret was not really trying it on for size earlier, because yes, you are going to make mistakes. Yes, you're probably going to hire team members that aren't a great fit, but You have to start somewhere. And at least with systems, you can have something in your business that is a standardized way of doing something so that when you do onboard team members, they know what they're doing. They have expectations around what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and it makes it easier for you to work with team. So how do you go about finding the right people and building a team that will help you scale? Well, the first thing that you need to do is really define what it is that you need. Are you looking for someone to help you with a project for a web page? Are you looking for a rebrand? Do you need some graphics created? Do you need some tech implementation? Or is your business in the right position to hire an online business manager to create some systems and manage your team? So once you've determined who it is that you need to hire. And it's not an easy thing. And it has to do a lot with, looking at your recurring tasks. More on that in a minute, but you just have to start somewhere, right? So I know that for a lot of us, hiring team, it literally makes you want to vomit. And I know team is not easy. And as I already mentioned, sometimes we have to kiss a few frogs before we find our aligned team members, and it takes practice. But I would first recommend tapping into your professional network. So some of your business buddies may already have people that they work with or someone that they could recommend. It's so important to have social proof. How does this person work? Checking their referrals. Another option would be to make use of platforms like LinkedIn or even freelance websites like Upwork. So you can post a job listing and hire individuals or agencies based on your specific requirements. And I just want to pop this in here, but if you are ready and looking for an OBM, head on over to our directory of accredited OBMs over at obmschool.com/directory, and you can find someone who can help you hire, who can help you with the systems, who can create organization and, tools in your business that are going to really help you scale faster. I'm going to make sure that I pop that link in the description below so you guys can head on over to our accredited OBM directory. Now, once you have one or two individuals who could be a good fit for whatever project you have, you want to make sure that they align with you and your business so that you can really increase your chances of starting and building a lasting and positive relationship with them. And I'm really talking about alignment. Like, you want to make sure that they really align with you in terms of personality, but also budget wise, right? So depending on where your business is at and how much revenue you're generating, you're going to be looking for different players on your team. So if you're, in a phase in your business where I wouldn't say you're in a startup mode, but you might be in a startup mode, you might be sort of just getting a grip on your business, virtual assistants are great. If your business is scaling and you feel like, oh, I missed the boat on hiring a VA and now I'm out of control, then you definitely want to consider hiring an OBM, especially if your business is generating over 150K in gross annual revenue. So you will also want to make sure that the values are aligned as well in terms of communication style, work ethic, leadership. These often go overlooked, but they're really going to be crucial for that longevity and having that person be on your team long term. I often say this about OBMs finding their OBM clients, but it's really like a personality match that is a really important thing for you. So these things are often overlooked, but they are crucial to growing a team that will not just stick with you for the long run, but also contribute to your business's growth. So the next thing that you want to keep in mind when hiring, and just before you kind of make it official, is you really want to give them a test project. And a test project, it's a paid project. It shouldn't take more than an hour, but it's an opportunity to get a feel for how they work, because if they're not a great fit, you'll likely see in the test project. And the test project also has to be reminiscent about whatever it is that you want them to do on your team ongoing. So if it's about taking a transcript of a podcast and making it into a blog post, that's a great first project you want to give them before you completely onboard them into your business and take all that time, if you have other team introducing them or training them, okay? It's a two-way street. And so when you have SOPs and they're organized, or you're in the process of creating them, or maybe you have some screencasts that are sort of capturing some of your systems, you are going to be leagues ahead, right? So you want to equally be responsible in making sure that your team has the resources they need and the guidance and the instruction to get get the job done well. And again, if you want to put your business to the test to see if it is ready to onboard an online business manager or any team manager for that matter, check out my previous video, Is Your Business Ready for an OBM? I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Now, the third thing I want to talk about, that third element of a scaling business, is delegation. And this really ties into point 2 quite a bit, so I'll keep it brief. But basically, we want to really combine the shift from a solopreneur mindset to a team mindset with SOPs or systems to knock out and organize those recurring tasks. As you identify which tasks are recurring and create those SOPs and those systems around them, you want to really be clear on who's responsible and then delegate those tasks in a project management tool with clear instruction to the team member, right? So this process can also help you figure out who you should be hiring. If you discover, for example, that, you need someone to create and schedule social media posts or somebody that's going to collect metrics around your launch, you should really look into hiring those roles that match up with that. I also find that when I think about my own project management tool and breaking down the tasks, someone might be responsible for part of it, you might be responsible for part of it, but as the head honcho CEO in your business, using a project management tool is going to let you see from a bird's eye view, almost like a dashboard, who's doing what, where things stand, and all that good stuff. Now, by delegating tasks, we come back to this main idea, the main idea of this whole video, which is you're setting up your business to scale by unloading those monotonous tasks that shouldn't be on your plate as the CEO so that you could dedicate more time to scaling and strategy and, quite frankly, only the things that you can do in your business. Now, with all this being said, if you're feeling eager to dive even deeper into the steps you should be taking to scale your business and set it up for long-term success, make sure you follow the link below to register for my Team Growth Challenge, which is kicking off in just a few days. This challenge was specifically designed for entrepreneurs and CEOs who recognize the potential of leveraging tools and remote teams to scale their businesses. So if this describes you, and I know it probably does if you're still here, I look forward to seeing you there. And don't forget, if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel so that you're notified when we drop another video. See you next time.